Hello. Another discussion post for you. I'll jump right into it. It is chapter 5 of the literacy in the 21st century. It starts by talking about for first grade phonics, and it like breaks down like the focus walls, and in there it has a bunch of different things such as the comprehension strategies, word patterns, phonics, vocab words, and spelling words, and that focus wall had a lot of different things. I think that the one thing that I took away from it is that usually people have word walls, and on those word walls, you'll see a lot of like high frequency words. Well, this included that, but there's also strategies that the students could and should use when reading. I thought that that was interesting and something I can bring into my classroom. Um, I also, when reading through there, it was like it basically was saying how you should keep the instruction exciting. You know, silly words help when they're learning about words. Make it fun, make them enjoy it. Um, Keeping that joy in literacy and not making it so rigid, and understanding that when you're working with the first graders, that it's important that they are still like engaged. And engagement usually happens for first graders when they're having fun. And they were saying that after they would have like a 15-minute recess, and then after that recess they would do 55 minutes of literature, and how it was important for them to sort of get that recess so they can really focus on their literature after, and able to focus a little bit better. But if they have all that energy, they're not going to be able to focus on what you are saying or on learning. Then it spoke about phonemic awareness and how students can manipulate words, um, and all the different strategies on how they could use it, such as identifying sounds, and then categorizing sounds in words and substituting sounds to make new words, and then blending sounds to form new words, and combining sounds to make new words. Oh, I'm sorry, I already said that. But with that, it basically says like, to reiterate the point, is keeping it fun. These are students that, and you don't want them to lose their um, joy in literacy. And so when you're doing it, if they're manipulating sounds, then use that and make it into like a fun game where they can go along and sort of stay engaged while you're teaching. Um, and that's really much what I took away from this, is how to keep it fun but ensure that they are learning. The next thing that was in the reading revealed, and in the reading revealed, it introducing interactive read alouds, and speaking on how like read alouds are a partnership, and how it's not just you reading to a student, how they should be interacting with you as well, and how you guys are all working together in order to make an understanding. And they gave some tips on the read alouds, and when you're in the read alouds, they spoke about, as a teacher, the things that you should keep in mind when you're replying to a student, and how you should like it seems so natural to say, oh, that's just a great answer. And they gave you a bunch of examples on, instead of saying this, try to say this, and then they told you why you should say that. For example, it said, don't say good answer. um, Another way of saying that is, your response helps me, and you can then elaborate it, because it then can draw connections for other students, and it's focusing on those higher levels, questioning and making sure that you're not just using empty phrases in order to fill space. Use it in order to create connections in their knowledge. And it spoke on how it could change how you do informal assessments and how you should be closing your assessment. So that chapter is more along the lines of, interactive read alouds are not just these fun things, they should be used strategically. These are things that work for students, and we should continue to use them. But when we are using them, we should be speaking intelligently and using high level questions. Next, the video book talk. That was going through ways to build interest when you don't feel like reading. So I have plenty of students that aren't huge in reading, but ways to keep them interested while I'm doing these readings is important. And this is sort of what was happening. Um, introducing this through the students, and these are you see them independent reading it later into the video, but before the video was the more important part on how she introduced it. She got their interest, and she was pretty honest with the students as well. And she said, at first I wasn't a reader, that came with time, but being honest with your students, that sort of breaks down that wall to show that you are a human too, that you are just like them, and you don't always want to do things, but she speaks on how she got better at it and how she now loves to, which shows resilience, which is important to the kids, and to learn that message. And then she was doing a bunch of great I guess you can say interventions or behavior modifications. What she would do is she did a lot of turn and talk. She did the countdown, and when she was counting down, she started like 3, 2, and then 1. And so the starting real loud and then working her way down will make sure that the students are paying attention to what you're saying, and it actually works to have them start quieting down from those turning talks. She went through pictures in the book, and then she sort of broke it down. And while the kids were reading, you could see that they were making connections due to her introducing the book and the way that she introduced the book. And so, yeah, it was. Those were a few of the things I took away from all the readings and the videos that I did. All right, hope you enjoyed. Go Bills.